One, stop in the name of God. Why honoring the Sabbath will transform your life. The last book by Charlie Kirk. With the chairman and CEO of Turning Point USA, Erika Kirk. 2, You, the Militia. 3, not only does Tinfoil Pat take Manhattan, but major Christmas party at Fox News. It is Will Cain Country, streaming live at the Will Cain Country YouTube channel on this Thursday. Christmas season, Christmas party at Fox News. Some 500 employees get together last night, and today is the morning after. Not only the morning after for everyone that works at Fox News, but the morning after his maiden voyage into New York City. Tinfoil Pat. We're going to break it all down with you, the Militia, here today on Will Cain Country. But let's get into story number 1. Erika Kirk is the chairman and CEO of Turning Point USA. She is also here to talk about Charlie Kirk's last book, Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life. Hi, Erika.
Hi, good morning.
So I'd love to ask you, just to start, how you're doing. But I don't mean that as a broad-ranging global question. I mean that on two fronts specifically that tie to today. Number one, how are you doing? You've been doing so much media. You're up here doing Fox.
So that's
many
the thing
interviews,
is,
Erika.
I know, and that's the thing is that's not something that I woke up one morning and said, I need to go on all of these TV shows. I need to go on all these podcasts. That's not at all how this happened. My husband finished this book back in July. All of this media, his media book tour itself was scheduled for all this whole time. It's already been scheduled. Every public speaking event that I have had outside of the memorial has been because my husband was supposed to do that, and I was honoring my husband and I was honoring his friendships. And for example, Megyn Kelly, that last tour stop was supposed to be my husband. Another example, New York Times with Andrew Ross Sorkin. That was an event my husband was supposed to do with him for Deal Books because his book was about to come out. Everything this week was because my husband was supposed to do that for his book tour. I cannot wait for a peaceful Christmas. That's what I'm looking forward to, being with my babies, focusing on Turning Point USA, putting our heads down and continuing to get to work because we have midterms coming up and having an amazing 2026. I am not looking to become a political pundit. I don't need a TV show. I don't want a TV show. I don't want a radio show. I have my marching orders. I'm here to honor my husband, and I'm here to do a service to him of making sure that his book gets out in the hands of millions across this world so that it can make a difference. And yes, I'm doing just fine. I have my tea this morning. I got a good night's sleep, and here we are. We're rolling.
I'm glad. I know how exhausting it can be to be on so many different shows.
Yes.
I hope you're honoring the Sabbath. I did learn recently in reading a new book, Stop in the Name of God, that you can't just tell yourself that this will pass, that there'll be a new season, that you can rest when it's over. You have to be honoring it. I'm curious, are you, amidst this entire whirlwind, Erika, are you honoring the Sabbath?
You have to pick and choose. There's times where I will turn my phone off for a few hours. I didn't choose just one specific full day as of yet. It used to be Friday night, all day Saturday. As you can imagine, things are a little frenetic, but also my mom is very sick, so I want to be able to be available in case she does go back into the hospital. So I'm trying to keep all of that in mind. But if someone needs to get a hold of me, they will know how to get a hold of me. So, for example, in the book, he also talks about how you can sunset your devices. So once 5 o'clock hits, unless it's an absolute emergency and the world is burning, get a hold of me. If it's life or death, obviously get a hold of me. But once you set those boundaries, people respect them. And honestly, too, as we're trying to heal from this trauma, we're doing our best to make sure that as we continue forward, we're also creating our own little mini Sabbath throughout the day. So if that means you need to take an extra few hours and just breathe and go sit with the Lord, great. Because you can't do it on a full day, do something. That's what this book is about. Do something. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be legalistic. It doesn't have to be what everyone else is doing. Make it work for you. And that doesn't matter if you're a believer or a non-believer, or if you're, whatever you are. Just do what works best for you.
And we will get into a little bit more of what Charlie talks about in Stop in the Name of God, which I did read this morning. I found it an incredibly compelling read. I actually, and no offense to Charlie or to you, I think it's even more compelling than the title. I think this is going to apply to everyone, regardless of even your own religiosity, your own belief. This is something that can make you a healthier person, tied to biblical wisdom. And I do want to get into that in just one moment. But you're also, Erika, you're doing this like what you just rattled off in a time of trauma, doing all this media, running an organization, and then you're a mom, and then you have these two kids. I don't know how you balance. I truly don't know. I think of myself, as everyone listening probably does as well, as a busy person. I know how incredibly busy your husband was, but yet you are also a mom.
Yeah, I am. But yeah, I got to tell you, it takes a village, and we have one heck of a village. Charlie handpicked all of the leadership on our team at Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action, the Charlie Kirk Show. He handpicked everyone. And that's what's so special. And that's what I've told people this before, our staff and everyone on our team, we're so mission focused. And we realize even more so when it's like when you go to war with someone, that's a totally different level of just human instinct. I can't explain it, but the bond between all of us is way deeper than a 9 to 5. It's way more personal. I'm not saying that if someone does something wrong, we don't fire them. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that we are so bonded with something right now that is so traumatizing, but also we know and we believe so much in our God and his sovereignty and his goodness. And yes, it's painful, but we have a team that we can rely on. We're not doing this alone. I could not do this alone, and I do not take full credit. I am weak every morning I wake up. And when I wake up, I ask the Lord, give me grace. Fill me with your strength. This is not human. This is not human. This is God. And I give him all the glory. I like I said to Glenn Beck earlier, I don't care about the rest of the world's judgment. I don't. I have an audience of 2. That's my Lord, and that's Charlie.
I mentioned to you that I wanted to ask you how you were doing based on 2 specifics. One is the requirements of your job right now and all of these media appearances. But the other is that today, in just a couple of hours, Charlie's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, is going to make his first court appearance. How are you doing in the reality of that news?
You know what's so interesting, Will, is that what I have found throughout this whole process is how our school system has really failed to educate us on how an actual trial works. We are so used to Law and Order shows that we think it will be solved in a half hour. That's not how this works. I personally am having our attorneys watch it. I have zero desire to look at that man on camera. When the trial starts, that's a whole different ballgame. But right now, I guard my peace. I guard my heart and I guard my mind. I don't need to look at you. I have nothing to say to you. I know that this hearing is addressing having cameras in the courtroom, and I believe we strongly need to have cameras in the courtroom. And I want people to be knowledgeable on the standpoint of this is a murder case. My husband was murdered. He did not die in a car accident. So what I would love is for people to read up a little bit more or have others out there who understand the court system explain it to us all. Because I had questions too. I remember asking my attorney, wait, hold on. You're telling me that we have to wait almost a full year for this court case? Like, that blows my mind. Even after you request a speedy trial, like, we're not just sitting here not having questions. I question everything. I don't do it publicly. I don't need to have that on the airwaves. I don't find that necessary. I never did. But I ask every day all different types of questions because I want nothing more than justice for my husband, for myself, and for my family, and for our whole team.
Erika, you famously and inspirationally at Charlie's memorial forgave Tyler Robinson. Have you, or do you have a desire to ever meet or speak to Tyler Robinson?
I have no desire to meet that man. Why would I? Would you want to meet the assassin who murdered your wife? I highly doubt it.
I don't know. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately for this conversation, I can't sit in your seat.
I pray. No, I pray you never do. I pray you never do. But I really
what
do
I mean
not
by that
have
is
a desire.
I truly, Erika, this is my humility to you and to your situation. I don't know. I can't. I'm
No,
never in that seat.
I truly, and I appreciate that honesty. I will tell you though that I don't. I have nothing to say to him. I don't. I have nothing to say to him. Forgiveness is not a weakness. Do I forget what he did? No. Do I let that absorb and consume me? No. But I have nothing to say to you. You murdered my husband. I have to tell my daughter every day and explain to her why daddy's not coming home. Why am I going to waste my breath?
Yeah.
Talking to a man I have nothing to say to because words, I guess I'll guard my words.
The I don't know portion of where I sit today, which I'm very fortunate to sit in that position. I'm fortunate to not know. I only know how others react, and there are some, I guess, maybe seeking understanding. I've seen victims do that. Maybe do you let's presume that's why they do. I don't know why they do, but some families do meet the people who perpetrate this horrible thing on their families. And I would assume it's for understanding. I don't know.
It's probably closure. I mean, everyone's different. I don't need closure. I don't need understanding. Evil's evil. I don't have any questions for him. I don't have any questions for his family. I don't. What this boils down to, honestly, is that he made a decision. One day, he decided to let the smallest seed of evil in his heart. He decided not to extinguish that evil. Instead, he decided to feed it. I don't need to ask him why he fed it. Evil is evil. So he kept feeding it to the point where he murders my husband. My husband challenged ideas. He had people come to the front of the line who did not agree with him. He would put the mic down and listen to what they had to say. And if people heckled them in the crowd, he would say, "You guys stop. This takes a lot. This takes a lot to come up to the front of the line and to the mic and to talk." He would give them a chance. He would use his words for good. And he would put his mic down and let the other person talk. And instead, I have nothing to say to them.
I get it.
Their actions speak louder than their words ever could.
You said several things that I would love to follow up with, but I want to take now a minute to talk about the book, which I don't give gratuitous compliments. I mean it when I say this is a really good book and this is fascinating.
It's powerful.
The idea of the Sabbath, the idea of taking time away. And Charlie talks a lot in this book about the phone. I mean, just what that device in and of itself is. But then what you do with that time as well. And obviously, it's a lot about connecting and being present and connecting with God. I think a good way to do this might be, would you walk us through, you said a moment ago, it was Friday night to Saturday, so you guys did it together. Can you just walk me through what that was like? He turned his phone off.
Absolutely.
You turned yours off Friday night?
For sure. So I don't know if you're an athlete, but Charlie and I were both athletes. And for us, trigger words were really a thing, meaning psychologically, when you say something, you're committed to it. So for him, on Friday night, he'd come home. Kids would run up to him, drop his backpack. He'd grab him. He'd look at me, give me the biggest kiss and hug. And he would say, he'd pull up his phone like proudly, and he'd be like, turning off the phone, throw it in the junk drawer and say, Shabbat Shalom. And he was free. That was the first main distinction of my rest has started. And we'd have a home cooked meal. We'd go to my mom's, or we would stay at our house, be with the kids, or we would go on a date night. Charlie was huge on putting our marriage first because we came first. You put the marriage first, then the kids. And he knew how important that was. And we loved each other so much. And he was such a good husband to me. He served me so well because both of us had a servant's heart. I served him, he served me. It was never keeping score. It was never saying, oh, you came home late, or you missed this, or you missed that. We never did that. We were on the same team, always same mission. And so when he came home and that phone was off, there would be times, I'm not going to lie, on Saturday when it's college football season and the Ducks are on, we would have the Ducks on.
Okay.
That would be the one time that we would have some form of screen time, but Charlie needed rest, and for him, that was an outlet. He used to say that if he wasn't in politics, he wanted to be a college football coach. That
I've seen the
was
videos.
like his thing.
They're amazing.
I know.
The videos are amazing. By the way,
He was a phenomenal quarterback. He had a great arm.
Yes.
And so for us, it was just being family time. And then he would find moments once the kids were napping, or if we were doing different things, and he would work into his schedule. Okay, now I'm going to go sit and be alone with the Lord, or I'm going to write. He would journal all the time. And he gave himself that peace of knowing, like, if I want to be the man that God needs me to be, and I'm going to step up, I need to give God time to allow for that to happen, to soften my heart, to read, to become a thought leader. My husband wasn't a mudslinger. He was a thought leader. He didn't get boggled down into drama. He didn't get boggled down in calling people names. He didn't do any infighting. He was a peacemaker. He was a bridge builder, and he was very intentional with his time. And he knew that with his time, he would rather build than tear down. And so in order to be able to continue to build, he needed to take a rest and let the Lord be able to pour into him. And that's what he did.
So it was Friday night through Saturday. And I'm really fascinated, Erika, by the logistics. Now, you and I are in different phases of life. Your kids are really young. Mine are older.
Yeah.
I have teenage boys. But Charlie addresses all this, by the way, in the book. He addresses that everybody thinks they're too busy. He's pretty humble about it. He's like, no disrespect, I'm a really busy person. I have a 3-hour show every day. I raise money for a $100 million organization. I have 300 employees. He's like, I get it. I get busy, but you can do this. And his argument in the book is you'll be better on the back end because of it. You'll be better, healthier, spiritually, mentally, physically, and more productive on the back end of it. But I want to ask you about logistics for a minute, because he brings up something this is a big deal to my family. It's kids' sports. Erika, it takes up a ton of time. Now, again, your kids are younger, but I was literally reading the book and I was like, okay. And Charlie says, go to your kids' game. Just be present. Don't scroll your phone, during the game or during warm-ups. Just be present. But this is my thing, Eric, and I know you said don't be legalistic about it. I'm like, but I use my phone for directions to the game. I coordinate with my wife on the phone. Are we going to meet there? I use it to check the app to see what field we're on. I'm like, I use it all the time. So even if I'm present in this, how can I not have my phone?
No, I get it. But here, be creative with me for a second.
Okay.
Let's pretend we're in like the early 90s.
Yes.
Like
I lived
Magellan
then.
style.
I lived then. Right. Yes, we pulled it
where
off.
You print out MapQuest.
Yes.
Charlie actually loved challenging his brain with maps. I'm not even kidding. At night, he would sometimes look at maps on his phone and be like, baby, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just looking at some maps here. And I'm like, what are you looking for? He's like, no, it's just really, cathartic. I'm just like looking at the different routes and stuff. It would be either for hiking or for road maps. Because let me challenge you this way. Communicate with your spouse that at this time and this time, that is where you'll be. I'm not saying
here
like,
I am.
God forbid
Erika,
this,
I'm older than you. I actually did this. It's not theoretical for me. And now here you're giving me the advice on the thing that I traveled Europe without a phone. I had the physical map.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Go back to that. But also too, I'm not saying like if there was life or death, like please use your phone. I'm not saying like don't be legalistic, but make it kind of creative where it's like, okay, it's 9:05. I'm still waiting. And then they show up at 9:07 and you're like, well, you said 9:05.
So I didn't have to send the where are you text?
Right. But no, it would be kind of fun to try it out and then get your kids involved. Give them a printout of MapQuest. I don't even know if MapQuest is still alive. Okay, Google Maps. Give them the printout and say, all right, son, daughter, whatever, you get to tell me when to turn left. I don't know, make it fun.
Well, did the whole
Not everything
family do
has
the
to be on
Sabbath
device.
together? Did you and Charlie sound like you did? And again, your kids are young, but we all know the whole iPad thing and the distraction thing. And
We don't do iPads.
okay, so your kids are always on the Sabbath. But you guys did it together. You did this together as a family.
We did. There were times, truly, where if things were, I don't know, for example, I'm trying to think of an event or something. I don't know, but I'll just throw out an example. If there was an event or something, and Charlie really was waiting to hear back from someone that said, I can only give you an answer tomorrow at this time, there would be a moment where, I would keep my phone on and say, okay, don't text it, but call me, make a physical phone call to me. And that's different. I'm not sitting on social media. I don't even have social media on my phone. He didn't either. There's again, it's not to be legalistic, but it's like Charlie said, be present, be intentional with your time.
Right.
You don't have to make it fun. Like, this is not supposed to be
sacrifice.
Yeah. I mean, it puts into perspective. Like, if you say, I don't have time, you're really saying, I don't have time for God. But what do you have time for? You have time for the idols. You have time for social media. You have time for whatever else. But by you saying, no, I'm not going to take a rest. Like, okay, well, you're the one who's missing out on the gift and benefit of that, not God.
Well, look, the Bible is an accumulation of thousands of years worth of wisdom, and the wisdom is derived through human trial and error and the law of God. And the idea of taking a rest isn't just something plucked out of the sky, some random rule. It's wisdom. And I think he lays out both that history, the biblical foundation of that wisdom, and then the benefits of it. He lays it out really, really well in this book. By the way, Charlie didn't have social media on his phone?
No.
How do you tweet all the time?
He eventually took X off of his phone when it was still Twitter. Gosh, the team would know the exact day and the exact month. But he realized that he would just aimlessly, and I watched him do it a few times. I know all of us are guilty of this. You literally open an app, you get out of it, you go
to the
through
next
three
one.
other apps,
yes,
but you go through three other apps. Within seconds, go to your text, and then you go back to the app that you had just opened.
Yes.
And you're like, what's new? You're getting a dopamine rush. The problem is you're trying to get a fill of a dopamine rush that the Lord has put in you that only the Lord can fulfill. So if you're trying to get that dopamine fix from a black screen, you're not going to get it. And that's why God is like, okay, just rest. No, we don't. I don't need to know the opinions of the world on my phone. If this is a new phone and a new phone number, the other phone and phone number is a black hole. But this one, like, if you have this number, it's because you're pretty much going to call me. I don't get too many text messages on it, but there's no reason why I don't need to be going down the bowels of Instagram to see all the fun chatter online.
Okay. Okay. Let me just say this, because I am going to follow up on that now. I do want to say this with all genuineness. I do think the audience should check this book out. I do think it's a great read. It's an easy read, by the way.
It's beautiful.
And I do think it'll make you better. I'm going to try it, Erika. How about that as an endorsement? I am going to try.
I love it. You should, and start small.
I also like Saturday. I like Saturday as the day.
You can choose any day.
I know Charlie said that.
It
doesn't have to be any particular day. It's about the rhythm of 6 on, 1 off. But I do like the Friday night to Saturday things you guys did. I am going to try. I am.
You should.
And I say that with humility. You hear the word try.
You'll become a better husband, and your wife will become a better wife, and your marriage will flourish. Charlie viewed it as almost like the big secret.
Yeah.
And he wanted everyone to be in on it.
Okay, I do want to ask you about this, Erika. You did mention the rabbit holes. You did mention the chatter. You're very aware. That's very clear. And yesterday on Fox with Harris Faulkner, you began to address this. You probably have a few other times as well. But it's the conspiracies around Charlie's death. And, when this first happened, you know that I do this every day for a living, and you're a part of this. Most of the ugliness and everything was coming from a predictable direction, the left. Now it's on the right. It's everywhere. And let me start here. You felt, I know you were asked, but you felt that now was your time to address it. Why?
Well, like I said earlier, I just want a very peaceful Christmas. I want my team to have a peaceful Christmas. I'm not going to sit here and mudsling. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to call names. I'm not. I'm not going to insult. Everyone's loved my husband, and we're all trying to figure out what happened. I have a little bit more insight because I'm a victim. So I get to see the autopsy report. I get to see all of the files that our prosecution, has pulled together. I trust that case. And so while everyone's trying to find the ultimate explanation of digging deeper and digging deeper, that's one thing. You know, if you want to dig into his Discord chats or whatever that guy was involved in, I don't care. Have a heyday with that. Go right ahead. I'm not telling you to not ask questions. I just told you this. I ask questions literally daily.
Yes.
That's not what this is about. What this is about is the accusations that somehow Turning Point USA, my husband's team, my husband's security team, my husband's friends, my husband's employees are somehow, and myself, are somehow implicated in his murder. That is a totally different line. Totally different line. So, of course, I am going to stand up for that. That's a line in the sand. Because anyone who knew Charlie and knows us, that's sick. It's sick. But if you want to go after whatever you want to go after down that way of, great. But don't accuse us. Don't overanalyze. Like, honestly, Will, I have no idea how I would have reacted that day if I was there and I saw my husband be murdered. So how are you going to hyperanalyze those people that love my husband, that were with him that second, thinking that their reaction meant somehow they were involved in it? This is a one of one where social media has just had a heyday, tearing things apart. And what's so sad is that I know all of those people that were there that day. And I know all of the people who are impacted by this that are within our close orbit. And it is painful to see on their face how exhausted they are to have to relive the trauma every single day. That's not fair. We are not robots.
How do they consume it, Erika? How does it, I mean, social media, how is it getting to you? Like, I know you said the chatter.
Well, the team tells me, I mean, I do not watch one thing. The team tells me if there's anything I need to know. I mean, honestly, I say, unless I really need to know, tell me. But if I don't, please, I don't need to hear it. But that's, we
So
try to
they come
guard
in,
it that way.
Erika,
But
and they're saying this now. This is the current line. This is what's happening.
not all the time. Not all the time. It'll honestly, it might not even be from the team. I'll get a phone call from someone and be like, hey, did you know that somehow you're involved with Romanian orphans being sex trafficked? I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, it becomes laughable at some point. I mean, again, we have been lied to over and over again. So there is a baseline of understanding of, okay, we're trying to seek the truth. I get that. Again, I'm not saying don't ask questions. But when you turn questions into accusations and you don't have proof, and you're leaving things open-ended as if our team or someone involved with our team is involved in it, and then you sit there and hyperanalyze my body movements, my tears, my frowns, my voice inflection, my faith, if it's not real or if it is real. I'm not going to waste my time with that. I have nothing to prove to you.
Where do you think it's coming from,
When you know the
Erika?
truth, I beg your pardon?
Where do you think it's coming from? Like, what's the motivation?
That's for each individual person. Everyone has their own motive. I'm not going to assume what those motives are. Some, it might be, honestly, grief is weird. Everyone grieves differently. It's not linear. Comes in waves. Everyone has their own personal relationship with Charlie in a way where even if you didn't even meet him, you have a personal relationship with him. because you watched his videos or you went to a campus event. Then you get to the next tier where you actually did meet him. That's another personal layer. Then you get to the next tier where you were actually a friend. So I'm not going to sit here and question or hyperanalyze what someone's motives is. That's in their own heart, and that's what they have to deal with responding to the Lord. That I'm not going to go, you have to put your head down on your pillow at night, and whatever your decision is, that was your decision. What I do ask, though, is that you keep in mind, again, there is a difference between questions and accusations. And if you have accusations and you are going to go down that rabbit hole, provide proof. I don't care if you're a journalist or someone on X. If you say accusations, provide proof. You can't just throw stuff out there and then all of a sudden everyone thinks that somehow that's truth. It's not. And it's very hard to prove a negative. So if you say, well, I don't believe what they're saying, even though they're telling you the truth, well, how is the truth going to set you free if you don't believe the truth? So now you're just talking in circles. My only prayer for all of this is that all of us can remember that Charlie was a thought leader. He would not want his life and his legacy to revolve around his murder. He would want his life and legacy to revolve around helping deliver the youth vote, helping to build Turning Point USA, helping to make a difference on college campuses. That is what I pray we focus on. The justice will be served, and trust me, it will. And again, you can have questions, but
I'm gonna ask
please
you one.
honor my husband.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask you one last question on this. And this is, I want you to know, and I want everybody listening to know, I'm trying to ask you about this in the most respectful way, manner, acknowledging.
Oh, I know.
But I want you to know this is the juggle. And it's not woe is me. It's like, I don't want you to have to talk about something that you don't want to talk about. I also don't want to be juvenile. So the juvenile part of this is the prurient digging in. And it's also doing something that I've done so far in this interview, which I haven't mentioned Candace Owens. I just didn't mention her name. And I didn't do that because I don't want to force you to talk about it if you don't want to. But everyone listening knows. And so after a while, I'm like, well, don't be juvenile. Everybody knows what you're talking about. And I'll be upfront. I haven't kept up with it. I don't know everything. I don't know all the accusations. It's impossible. It's impossible to keep up with. So in a lot of ways, I guess I am asking about something that we're not addressing. And I don't think that's fair to the audience. So I'm going to ask you this last question on this. And what I'm going to say is, you have made a choice that has changed in the last week. Your team has been talking, and you have also said that a bridge has been crossed, talking about people that you know. What I'm curious about, Erika, is going forward, will you and the team, do you think you will talk about it more? Do you think you will address all of the stuff? Because to your point, you said it, and I feel it. It's growing. It's not going away. You know, the chatter, the theories, it's growing. It's not going away. So how do you think you'll address that going forward?
Yeah, the chatter will always be there, regardless. What if we spent all of our time going through every single accusation, we'd get nothing done at the office. Nothing. We were told that if we said stop, they would stop. And we said stop. And I'll say it again. Please stop. That's it.
We'll see if it's listened to. Erika, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for addressing things. Thank you so much for sharing Charlie's book. I do mean it. Everybody
My
should check it out.
husband loved you, by the way.
Thank you.
He absolutely adored you, and he really enjoyed having very thoughtful conversations with you, and he genuinely appreciated your voice. And I think that that's what's very important right now, is for us to all come together. Yes, there is a fracture happening, but it's not too late. The fracture does reveal some things, of course, but it also reveals that there is still good out there, and we can still come together and be united and still have that bridge. And I just want to say thank you for being one of those voices that my husband always adored.
Thank you so much,
I'm deeply
Erika.
grateful for you.
That means the world to me. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, Erika Kirk, Chairman and CEO of Turning Point. Hope to see you soon, Erika.
God bless you.
Okay, let's take a quick break. We'd love to bring you guys in, the Willisha who've been listening. Any comments that you have, Two-A-Days Dan, Tinfoil Pat, everybody else is here as well. And before the end of the show, we review what was an incredible Christmas party. Y'all want to know who was on the dance floor? You want to know who was on the stage at the Fox News Christmas party? Coming up on Will Cain Country. Welcome back to Will Cain Country, streaming live at the Will Cain Country YouTube channel, the Will Cain Facebook page, Spotify and Apple. By the way, guys, we've got the new Will Cain Facebook page up, right? And I've been mentioning that in passing. However you consume, streaming shows, YouTube's a big one for us. Spotify and Apple is great for on-demand afterwards, but now it's up on the Will Cain Facebook page, in addition to the Fox News Facebook page. And that's, I know there's a lot of the audience that gravitates there. So make sure you head over to the Will Cain Facebook page.
Audience. Yes.
Big audience over there. In fact, it's our biggest audience, yeah?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very easy way to get all of our content in one place.
Yeah.
As well as our YouTube page.
Yep.
But yeah, it's there.
Yep. And by the way, that's where you jump into the comment section, those platforms as well. That was heavy, but it was also light. I mean,
yeah.
First of all, can I just say this about the we're just going to talk now. You, me, everyone. The Sabbath. Tinfoil was like, I almost feel like that word is a turnoff to people. Yeah. Like Sabbath. You read this book, and I mean it when I said that. I hope everybody knows this about me right now. I don't give fake compliments. Like, I think I want to try this. Like, I told the guys this morning, one of my biggest challenges in my life right now, and it's probably because of my age, maybe I need to get on testosterone. Dan said they were going to start calling me Low T Will, which I've never had it measured.
That was me. Hey, don't.
I would never say that
Don't
to you,
steal your
Will.
joke, okay?
Jeez. Dr. Martin McCary
is because they say with testosterone, a lot of it's about energy.
Yeah.
Energy, and Ellie's back there. Ellie's 23. She has no idea what I'm talking about. I remember that. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Energy is such a thing. Like at this point, it's like, how do I maintain a high level of productive energy? It's like such a thing. And then you start doing things. In the book, Charlie says he meets with David Engelbert, who is a pastor and preacher. And by the way, in Dallas now, and I've gotten to know him a little bit. And he's like, man, I'm drinking 8 cups of coffee a day, and I'm just exhausted. And Charlie's telling the story, and he's like, do you observe the Sabbath? And he's like, no, man, I don't have time for that. And he's like, I think you do. And I think you'll be surprised. My point is, like, doing 2 shows a day, and then all the communication involved around the show. And then I feel bad because you guys know this, all 3 of you in there know this. People ask me to do other shows, and I want to do their shows. It's not that. It's like, how do I fit it in this cycle that I have? And my biggest challenge is such a nice compliment Erika gave at the end, is that I want to be thoughtful, and I've got to have quiet time to think about what I'm actually going to say.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's hard to find these moments now. And energy. And by the way, for me, it's not just coffee. I don't actually drink that much coffee. You guys know what it is, nicotine.
It's a stimulant.
It's the pouches. But at some point, I think I have to just consider, this thing is such a drain and a suck. It's also an amazing tool. I'm holding the phone. I have to consider that you've got to detox for 24 hours and be 100% present. And you'll be surprised where your thoughts take you.
I love it.
Your thoughts will take you in unique and interesting places. And I will come up with stuff for work. I will come up with like, oh, I want to talk about that. Yeah. Oh, I'm into this. When I just get to be present. And that's not even talk about connecting with the Lord. That's not even that part of it. So I'm saying, what I'm saying to you is, you think about Charlie's last book, and there's a piece of you that's like, I wish it would be like his manifesto on America, and instead, but no, instead, it's about this one day of your week, the smallest part of your week, the part that you're sad. And yet it's so symbolic of how it can be something bigger, what it does to affect your week, your energy, your focus, your connectedness to God, to your family, to presence. And just, it's like that, all those metaphors you hear, like, the journey of 1,000 steps starts with a single step. Of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and a pebble turns into an avalanche as it starts to roll. It's like that little thing can become the manifesto. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It can be the manifesto of. And by the way, Charlie journaled and spoke extensively, and I would imagine I would hope there'll be some posthumous things compiled about what he thought about the future of America. He certainly laid it out there. Go ahead, 2 days.
No, and not to take God out of it, but you could also, if you don't have that in your life, you could use the same thing on the Saturdays and just, take time to yourself and do it. Anyone could use it for any sort of purpose. And honestly, talking about it, I didn't even think about it this way, but I would like to try that.
I used to work at Chick-fil-A. I worked at Chick-fil-A 3 different times, and we were always off on Sunday, like guaranteed.
Well, yeah.
No, I mean it's a big thing, but like, but there's a reason for it, and it's like you don't even have to worship on that day. It was, everybody.
But I don't
thinks
want
of
to
it as
secularize
Christian.
it.
Right.
Charlie talks about in the book that Saturday became essentially first of all, they became indistinguishable, Saturday and Sunday, and the weekend in and of itself, while it recognizes the need for a reset, it recognizes the rhythm of a human. It was driven by labor, and you've seen those stickers. The weekend brought to you by labor union. But the point is, there's a difference between a Saturday and Sunday. Now, Charlie observed the Sabbath on Saturday, which kind of appeals to me in terms of, I think it's a little bit like, what do they call it, the Sunday scaries? Like, I think Sunday sometimes is the day I begin to think about Monday pretty heavily.
It's Monday light.
Saturday and Friday night are truly your ability. And the likelihood that Charlie writes in the book that he'd wake up on Sunday and be like, in the beginning, and be like, oh my God, I got to check my phone. And he'd be like, there'd be like 3 texts that I felt like, oh, I need to respond to. It's not as bad as you think. It's not as much as you think it is. And so, I don't know. I truly think it's really, really healthy. And I would like to try it.
There's something freeing about not being as available to people, too.
Oh, I want to go back to the secular thing. Okay, look, I'm not here to preach to you, Dan.
No.
But
I just meant everyone could adopt
Right.
this.
That's what I was saying is like, even
Oh,
Christian
no doubt.
employees, Yeah.
it would be healthy
Non-Christian
for you
employees.
even if you didn't worship.
That's what I mean.
But here's the deal. Again, Charlie wrote this. And this is one of my favorite things. I've talked about it on the show several times. David Foster Wallace. Are you a fan, Dave? You seem like you would be.
Shut up. I hate that you just said that.
Well, I'm good at this.
Damn it. I've read Infinite Jest.
David Foster Wallace was an interesting dude. Probably didn't share my politics, but I don't know where it would have gone, and I don't know much. We shared one thing, an addiction to nicotine. He dipped Copenhagen all the way through. David Foster Wallace committed suicide. He was an incredible writer, these things.
Great movie about it,
But
too.
one of my favorite things is that graduation speech. Have you ever watched it? I've brought it up several times. Okay.
I don't think I have.
About the fish.
When I brought up, the 2 young fish
Oh, yeah,
passing
yeah.
an older fish,
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
water? But in
Yeah.
that speech, it's like a 20-minute commencement address. It's really good. It's on YouTube. He says, and Charlie wrote this in the book, nobody gets a choice as to whether or not you worship. You do worship. It's a matter of what you worship. Worship is what you give your time and attention to. It's the thing that you prioritize. It's what you put above all else. It's where you place your focus. And Wallace says this. He says, if you focus on money, if you worship money, you'll never have enough.
Mm-hmm.
If you focus on beauty, vanity, how you look, you'll always consider yourself ugly. If you worship power, you will always seek it and never have enough. And then he says, if you worship intellect, smart, you will walk into every room feeling like a fraud. And he's right. You worship. You don't get to walk around saying, I don't worship. You do. It's a matter of what you worship. And he says, for my money, Foster Wallace says this, you can do a lot worse, and you probably can't do any better than worshiping the tenets of God. It'll be the most fulfilling thing. My point is, I never consider myself someone like who is, I don't consider myself someone who's worthy of doing what I'm doing right now with you. I don't. For whatever reason, I don't. And this is a difference between me and Charlie. I'm not as smart as he was. I'm not as well read. I grew up every Sunday in church, every Sunday night in youth group, and my children ask me questions sometimes, and I go, I wish I had the answer for you on this. But I do know this, that if you go to church on Sunday morning, you do walk out refreshed. You do walk out reset. So it's not just turning your phone off It's not just playing a board game. It is those things with your kids or your family. It's not just date night. Those are all important. Those are great, and you should be present for those. But there is another level of this reset, of being focused on something even more than what is obviously in your surroundings, in worshiping. And I mean that. I think it is restorative, truly restorative. Anyway, that was, I really enjoyed that conversation with Erika. Let's talk.
I feel like she did too.
Let's talk about for a moment the last thing. I got to this point in our conversation, and I said it all out loud, and I do feel this way. But okay, the conspiracies are swirling around Charlie's death, and they are really taking off.
In our chat.
Well, okay, so it's in our chat right now, and I am really, in today's day and age, I think here's a word that I think is now in the graveyard that was everything, one could argue 12 months ago. Virality. This is viral. I had a guy come up to me at the Christmas party last night and be like, Will, these things you're doing, they're going super viral. And I'm like, really? And I go, because they're not in my algorithm.
Yeah, we don't see them.
I'm not in my algorithm.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's so tailored now. Everything is tailored to you and what you're hovering over. It's not, this is like the conversation we had this week about Luigi Mangione and picking a jury. I don't think it's a direct reflection of what you like. So if you're getting Charlie Kirk conspiracy theories, it doesn't mean you buy into them. It means you're hovering over them, that you're interested in them, and the algorithm's factoring that in and giving you more. Mm-hmm. And your algorithm is not reflective of anyone else's algorithm. So, and this is largely X, but it's also YouTube.
It's more of a TikTok thing because they
focus
on topics, and I think more people are tailoring it to topic-based rather than like person.
So the idea of follower counts and those kind of things, they don't matter anymore.
No.
They're described as vanity metrics.
Yep.
And anybody that's on social,
Advertising
what I'm
metrics.
talking about. If you're on social media, like you get stuff all the time. You're like, I don't follow that person, but you don't even care anymore. You're like, interesting, And it could be a rando. You have no idea if it's true or
I
not.
barely hit follow anyways anymore. It doesn't matter.
It'll
pop up again.
Tim, the comedian that
Tim Young. Yeah.
He's like, hey man, Tim Young, like you don't follow me. I'm like, I don't. I'm sorry. Like I don't remember the last time I followed somebody.
Exactly. I don't either.
There was somebody else in my feed who it might have been Sean from the Federal, Sean Davis. It's like I see Sean Davis's stuff all the time. I didn't realize I didn't follow him.
Yeah, you don't realize it. You know what I mean? So this is all algorithm based. So my point I'm taking you is I actually don't know. I don't know how widespread. It definitely feels like all of the conspiracies around Charlie's death are getting bigger. Could be my algorithm, but it's getting bigger. It's growing. It's more. That being said, I know Candace has millions of views and is huge and all of that. So there's a real reflection that it is big. I have no other way to explain this other than I felt juvenile talking around it. So I'm talking to her about the conspiracy, and it's not just Candace, by the way. There's a lot. There's a lot, but she is definitely the main one. And I just felt juvenile, like talking around it. Everybody knows. Everybody watching, I know. So why? It's not Voldemort.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Like it's stupid.
Before the interview, I was like, "Is she Voldemort?"
So, but I think I said it out loud. Like, I don't want to force Erika to talk about something that she doesn't want to talk about, but she's begun to talk about it. So it's like, well, do we talk about it? So, I don't know. You want to go to the comments, both of you guys? I don't know. I respect the Willisha. It's not just respect. I appreciate them and investing the time that you do and listening and being a part of what I think is a community, and I hope an honest search for the truth. And I said in the thing, I haven't consumed enough. I haven't consumed enough. I'm gonna say one more thing on this. We live in a world right now where there's a whole host of people and things that are said, and this is where the Tallarico thing really pissed me off, because I know I keep bringing it up, but this is what I hate. Okay, there's reality. The reality is the conversation that we had. Okay, then there's an altered reality. And that's an edited clip. Cut and edited clip. Okay, that's a false reality now. And then we're now in the world of a third layer, and the third layer is the framing of the alternate reality. So if you're being honest, you probably even don't watch clips of a lot of people that you're told are a certain way or say a certain thing. I'm guilty of it too. You scroll, there is a text. Now in your algorithm, you may not even know who the person is. You may not. And they say, this famous person says this, thinks this, is this. And you're like, oh, and there's a clip, presumably, that supports what is said. And you're like, oh, I guess that's what it is. And you don't even watch the altered reality. You don't even watch the clip anymore. So you're only told what to think. And now we live in this world of like people being told what to think about everyone. What I'm getting at is I recognize that, and I have a ton of humility about, like, maybe it's not even humility. I should, but it's like there's so much. Like, now I need to go on a deep dive investigation to have my own independent thought on that person, on that topic, on that thing. And there's so much. I just know I can't trust that third layer of reality.
But do you have to?
Huh?
But do you have to?
Well, I don't know. And do you,
You
have,
know,
and quite honestly, you can't on all of it.
Yeah.
There's literally not enough hours in the day to do all of it.
It's a lot of nonsense out there. There's some validity to it.
All right, what do you got from the militia?
But it's hard. But it's hard because like sometimes you don't want to give oxygen to a flame. I think like that's kind of what she was saying. Like if you just say stop, it'll stop.
I get it.
But it's then it's like, well, it's getting oxygen somehow.
Well, I don't believe in that anymore. I think she's in a different position because of who she is. Like, but in her relationship, this entire thing, you can't ignore stuff anymore. I'm just saying, as us, things don't go away by ignoring them. Mm-hmm. It just I think that world is over. Like,
yeah,
you address things. That's the only way. I don't know.
But people have, let me just ask you this. People had a lot of criticism of Erika on the other side because she is doing all these appearances and whatever. People do grieve in their different ways. What if she didn't do any of this?
Oh, do
what
you
if
think?
She went away?
Oh, interesting. My first question to Erika was not, how you doing?
Yeah.
Like with the media appearances. I actually meant that on a personal level.
I know.
Like I know how exhausting it can be.
Yeah.
People wield jackhammers. I get it. But it is exhausting to do what she's doing right now. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, how you doing? Now you say that, I'm looking back at her answer. She must be getting flack for doing all this media.
She is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's the biggest thing.
Because the way she answered it, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting how she's talking about it.
She jumped in real fast.
She did. And she was like, I don't want to be doing all this.
Yep.
I'm doing this because this is what Charlie's supposed to do. And I was like, okay.
That's the biggest criticism.
I'm over here going, okay, but are you tired?
I know.
And
I saw you didn't pick up on it at first. And, you're like, wait, what?
So what you're telling me, and I'm unaware of this, this is the algorithm. She's getting a ton of flack for doing media, essentially?
For speaking. For being out there and talking about it.
Even in our comment section right now, she's getting flack.
Really?
So, yeah. So what would be better?
She's promoting Charlie's book in his stead.
Yes.
Some people think it's too soon and all this stuff. I don't agree with it.
He wrote the book. It was scheduled to be published. The media appearances were scheduled.
But that's why she jumped in real fast like that, because she is hearing that a lot.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that, but my question to you is, would it be better if she just didn't do any of this?
No.
And just grieved on her own by herself? But then people would be like, well, why isn't she talking? She must be hiding something.
But she's not.
Either way.
But she's not me. She's not
I know.
Ellie. She's not. In other words, she's not. What's on her? Not. You just take it that at the surface level. Every individual is their own unique person, how they handle things. But also, she's not capable of simply being a grieving widow.
Sure.
She also has this organization that's incredibly important that she's a part of. That Charlie apparently wanted her to take over, and she has to shoulder that
The
burden.
employees.
And it's still growing.
And it's still growing.
Yeah.
And he wrote a book. She has, and she's a mom. She has she didn't get a choice. She has to do it all.
If
so
she wrote a book.
You sit there and you go, that's not how I would grieve. But you're not in that situation. How what would you do? I don't know. Anyway, go ahead. What are you getting?
So I think we're getting a lot of people coming from that algorithm on YouTube that do look up a lot of the Candace Owens stuff and watch Candace Owens.
Okay.
Because I would say it's about 60-40, 40 being Candace Owens watchers. They're saying, you can't believe a word she says, this type of stuff. A lot of support, but I think we're just getting a lot of these people who just need to believe this stuff. I mean, need to believe that Candace Owens is right and need to believe that, sometimes the truth can be more boring than what you think in your head. And so you need to make it a little more than what it is. But, there's a lot of nice things people said about her and a lot of support, but there is the people saying some pretty gross things in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you? YouTube?
Yeah. And Facebook.
Huh?
And Facebook.
But also, we also have some
I've had
comments.
to block some things.
Some comments from people about, MapQuest. Very fascinating.
Ellie's never had to deal with that. We were just
No.
asking about it.
So American Nightmare said, MapQuest made me 11-hour drive, 24 hours for me driving to New York City.
Oh, it failed. MapQuest failed that person?
Yes.
You know what I used to carry in my car?
It was one of those giant map books.
Yep.
Yep.
Loved it.
My dad was a cable
Freaking
guy
loved the
for
Atlas.
years. And he
By the way,
had a
Charlie and I
giant-
did have this in common. Like the thing, I didn't want to jump in like, me too, me too. But I love maps. I collect maps. They hang on my walls at home.
Get out.
Yeah. Any place that I've lived, I try to get an old map of that place. So I've got Montana, Hawaii, Texas. I've got an old map of Manhattan. So I love them, and I can just stare at them. And like, if I watch a story, I don't know why this one popped into my head. Did you guys ever see Out of the Furnace? Christian Bale.
I've seen it 4 times.
Great, right?
Yeah.
So I had to like figure out where that was geographically, that story, where it's setting. I'm getting on the map. I'm like, where is this? What are these towns like? Was that West Virginia, Dan? Or was it
Yeah.
Pennsylvania?
It was Appalachian Mountains, West
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah. I love that. I can stare at maps,
Yeah.
study geography.
It is cathartic, like Erika was saying,
Yeah.
if you look at it.
Yeah.
And Tiki Cam also said, I'm old. I remember taking road trips with my dad reading book maps. So, yeah.
They're great.
Put it on the hood of the car, just folding it out.
Okay, I'm going to say this now because we're going to talk about the Fox News Christmas party, and it's just kind of it's interesting that you say there's an algorithmically based audience with us today that maybe not be regular watchers of this show or maybe not me on Fox News. All I will say is this: I take seriously the concept of I don't know. I take seriously that I just think there's way too much certainty in the world. Fake certainty. And there's so much going on. There's so much information that even someone who does what I do for a living, where you have to read and study and talk and share your beliefs, you have to know your limits of what you do and you don't know, okay? And you don't proceed from that with a closed mind. I think honestly, this is like one of the big cardinal sins of a place like CNN. Like everything is closed. Everything is closed. You watch a show, it's like boom, no, this is what, but this way it is. Boom, no more. And Erika said this. We live in a world where we've learned how fraudulent that entire thing is. Like that line of inquiry, that line of shutting down conversations, that thought process only metastasizes more. And the more is not always right. Okay. So whether or not it was COVID, whether or not it was the vaccine, whether or not it's shutdowns, whether or not it was race stuff, whether or not it's BLM, it was all boom, no, this, boom, no. And it's honestly not just wrong, it's grotesque. It's a turnoff. If you've ever been around somebody like that, forget media, just in person, that's, but I also know that people like answers in direction, and I don't know is very unsatisfying to everybody. I get it. I know this from being a lawyer. I know this about juries. We had this conversation earlier this week about how Luigi Mangioni's defense may come together and what the story is they'll try to tell, because people don't like reasonable doubt. People don't like I don't know. They like something else, a positive story that they can attach themselves to, an affirmative story. Positive has too much of a complementary association, an affirmative story that they gravitate towards. What I'm telling you is I care about the truth. I want to pursue the truth. I can't invest in every single story to the level that others have. But I will say one thing that I think you should always keep in mind. And I tell you this from somebody who's sat in these seats. My only currency with you, my only currency in this world, quite honestly, is authenticity. Now it's cliched. Everybody says authenticity thing. Everybody does. But that doesn't matter. It's like President Trump talking about affordability. Everybody says it. That doesn't mean you do anything about it or you actually care. Not everybody's real. I'm not indicting any one person. All I'm telling you is there are so many motivations in this seat and so many people. And the main one is you. It's you. It's attention. You're the currency. And we're measured by it. What are my numbers like? What are the pod numbers? What are the YouTube numbers? What are the ratings on the television? We're constantly measured by it. Everybody wants to do great. And I'll just tell you how I approach it. I don't walk around the world with squinty eyes. Do you know what I mean by that? Like looking at everybody deep and peering into their soul and trying to figure out their motivations and being a skeptic. It's not a fun way to go about the world, right? You meet people just like you would in the real world. You're like, is this person being honest with me? Is this person doing this in a pursuit of being real? Is this a real person doing real things in pursuit of real truth? And I do that now all the time. In the old days, it was almost easier. It was like I could read the New York Times and I could see the byline and I'd be like, nope, not trustworthy authenticity. Now the demands on you, and I tell my boys this as well, the demands on you are overwhelming. They are overwhelming for you to do that on a constant basis, and I think you have to. I just think you have to. That's not to say any one person is a fraud or any one person is a real, but it becomes your highest currency. While you become the currency of everybody else, your highest currency has to be, is this real? Is this person, is this message, is this pursuit real? All I can do is make you this promise. I'm never going to be the expert on every single thing. I'm never going to get it all right. But over time, hopefully, I will earn you trusting that I am being real and trying to get to a real truth. Tinfoil Pat is one of the most unique people that I think all of us would agree we've ever met. And he is in Manhattan for the first time. And in that context, he went to the Fox News Christmas party, chock full of 500 people, cocktails. And how did it go? Well, here's a little tease. He walked across Manhattan to get there in the rain. Next on Will Cain Country. I look tired. I was just looking at myself. I look tired. Oh, don't you give me that, Ellie. It is Will Cain Country, streaming live at the Will Cain Country YouTube channel and the Fox News Facebook page and the Will Cain Facebook page. All right. Last night was the Fox News Christmas party. I don't think it's annual. This is my first one I've ever gone to, by the way. I don't think it's annual. I don't know how often it happens.
It's the first one in 3 years.
First one in 3 years?
Yep.
That's lucky timing.
For you, yeah, because you're up here for the Will Cain show, Chris, and country Christmas parties tonight. That's tonight. I woke up this morning, I'm like, I'm too old for 2 nights in a row. I don't think I can do this.
That's why I went home.
All right, so Fox News Christmas party. So, I mean, I think we're all kind of living this vicariously to some extent through the eyes and experiences of Patrick. So Patrick is from Jacksonville. I don't think he leaves his home. And by the way, Patrick, you've got arthritis at 38. Yeah. You're kind of limping around the building. And then you show up and you're like, I walked to the party in the rain. It was raining last night.
Insane.
Yeah.
Did that take you 2 hours to walk to the party?
It was 40 minutes.
Did you enjoy your walk in the rain?
No. I mean, I don't know. So when I was a young man, I was an electrical apprentice for a year. And I worked in a lot of wastewater treatment facilities, which are just where the poop water goes. Terrible smell. I was in Hell's Kitchen. It hit me, exact same smell. I'm like, New York smells like either weed or poop water.
That's facts, especially in the rain.
It's crazy. It wasn't a bad walk. Today, I barely got out of bed. I mean, like it was, it hit me now. But like, yeah, at the time I was like, oh, I can do this.
What do you do? I mean, don't play a part. Yeah. Don't do a bit. What do you think of New York? For real, 1 to 10. What do you think of it?
It's like a 7.
He's barely seen any of it.
So you like? Yeah, no, he's been in Midtown.
He's been in Midtown Manhattan.
It's beautiful.
That's not New York.
That's true, Dan. I used to. When I lived here, I'd be like, don't judge New York on Midtown.
Yeah, don't get out of here.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to live in any part of New York anymore. But I will say I didn't live in Midtown ever. That's not really my New York. It's not many people's New York. It's work and tourism.
Woody Allen's
It's Europeans' New York.
Woody Allen's New York?
Like Times Square is not for people who live here.
Oh, okay.
I hate it during the Christmas time. I can't even get out of the building.
Yeah. Well, what they've changed. We'll see with Joel Mamdani coming back. You used to walk out of the building and they were selling the handbags and all that on the streets. And literally you couldn't walk down the streets because half of the sidewalk was taken up by the dudes with the blankets and the handbags and the whatever else they sold, Dan, all the other stuff. They're all
Fake
African.
iPhones and
all
AirPods.
African dudes, right?
Mm-hmm. They're mean.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't really interact
They
with
could
them
be.
a lot.
They could be very intense.
I wonder if those dudes are legal. I don't. Didn't they?
What do you mean you wonder?
So no.
Oh man.
Did they get rounded up?
They did. My wife saw it happen. She was downtown that day. It happened in the city.
So that's not around anymore, by the way, right?
No. Canal Street.
In front of the building. You know what else they did?
Yeah.
Like it was like a carnival out there, Patrick. Like last year, it would have been a carnival outside the building. So handbags.
That's crazy.
The caricature guys drawing caricatures of people. The spray paint artists. You know what I'm talking about? Spray paint artists, where they make like a painting out of spray paints, and then you buy that. The dude, this one was everywhere. They have the circular camera that goes around. You stand in the middle, and it plays Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z, and you get the little video of you, like it's like Brian Kelly at LSU. Remember the video?
Oh yeah.
It's that video.
Okay.
You get that with New York going around you.
amazing.
Remember when Brian Kelly was behind the recruits at LSU? And
That's
he was
when I knew
peeking
they were
in
gonna be
between, going like this.
I'd have fired him for cause for that.
Yes.
It was so homoerotic. It was, and you know it. We all know. I'm not
knew they
saying
were gonna
Brian
suck.
Kelly is gay. I'm saying that the video itself, like somebody should have said, somebody that worked at LSU should have said, Coach, come look at this before we
It was
put it
their
out.
idea.
Yeah.
So all that was outside the building. All of it. It's all gone, Dan. It's all gone.
There's a couple, but not as much.
I know that all the Elmos and the who else is it? Elmos and
Cookie Monsters and
there's not many Cookie Monsters, is there?
I thought I saw one in videos.
Those
There's a
dudes are all
Statue of
illegal.
Liberty.
Those dudes are illegal immigrants under the costume.
Well, that's why you're
What?
doing illegal. You're selling illegal stuff.
Patrick, those you got to see them when they take the hat off, the head, the helmet off. I'm not doing a nice thing like
It's racist.
Yeah, no, those dudes buy those things, go out there and make money.
Yeah.
They're not legal immigrants. I don't care what you say, they're not legal immigrants.
Well, I have to make a phone call to Tom. So after the show,
He's gonna come into New York City for a few days and just get ice in here.
yeah, I'm very conflicted because, like, well, I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah. Just,
Oh, right.
What? Now I'm intrigued. You said everybody's in the algorithm ready for a conspiracy. Let me introduce you to Tinfoil
yeah,
Pat.
I
What
know,
do you
for
got?
real. This is his people.
So 7 out of 10. That's way higher than I would have thought.
Yeah, it's been fairly nice. The Chick-fil-A is not very good, but
You've been to Chick-fil-A?
yeah.
You came all the way up here and went to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure I also have a food test coming, or a food review of their sandwich that I'm going to do. I just wanted to see, like, can they make
It isn't as good. You're right.
can they make it? No, they do not do a good job.
All right, so last night was the Fox News Christmas party. Big open venue, so like one big room we were all in. The one thing I have a regret about the party is something I didn't do. They had cornhole. They had air hockey. They had the largest foosball table I've ever seen. Like it was for 20 people to play foosball.
Massive.
The only problem is I want to play foosball. Cool, go gather 9 other guys. You know, like you've got to.
Well, it wasn't just big; it was long.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Any bumper pool?
No bumper pool.
Damn.
Yeah, I would have dominated it.
That's
I'm
what
gonna
I would've gone.
I am going to bring bumper pool back. Did you know the guys in Dallas told me if you Google bumper pool, me and Brett come up playing bumper pool, like on the first page.
Just not in the zeitgeist anymore.
I'm starting a bumper pool business. Trust me, America, you're missing
So
out.
you're bringing it back. I never knew it existed until you started playing bumper pool.
Well, I think it. I don't
Yeah,
know
when
this
was
for
it
a
a big-
fact. I don't know this for a fact, but everybody I meet says they had one at their grandma's house, my age, I guess. And so my bet is from that, it must have been a thing in the 60s and 70s. It must have had a moment where people got it. It was at their grandma's house, and that's why I had nostalgic feelings about it. Why I got one for the Dallas studios, but Ellie got one for the Dallas studios.
He's giving you credit.
Yeah, good.
So I have the answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Peak popularity between the 1950s and 1970s. It was in all bars, pubs, rec rooms, and basements. It was a space-saving alternative
Yes.
to full-size billiards.
Yes.
Declined in the 80s.
Does it have in their rebounds in the 2020s
Oh, wait, hold on.
because of Will Cain?
Wait. Will Cain bringing back bumper pool in Dallas, Texas.
I'm going to. That's going to read that way here in a little bit. I'm bringing back bumper pool. So the party in multiple bars. What do you guys think? 500 people? Ellie, Patrick, would you go like
A lot of people.
500 people?
Yeah, it seems right.
Honestly, Dan didn't go, so really fun. Really fun.
Yeah, I missed out.
And everybody is saying that, I feel like.
It was great, except I couldn't hear Jack.
Oh, man.
It was so loud.
My voice is a little fried. You hear this today? I think it's because I had to yell always to talk.
Like, I had to get, like, right up on people. It, like, I felt like Ben Franklin with, like, the horn.
You're not the biggest projected voice.
No.
I mean, like,
uh,
I had to, like, get my voice a little high. Hey, try to cut through the sound. Because I know, like, when you have that deeper voice, it kind of gets monotone.
That's concerned with you.
Yeah.
You're next to Dan. No one thinks you have a deep voice.
Well, yes.
Dude, no one could hear me because it just goes with the low tones of the room.
So I'll give you guys a little. Patrick, I saw you a few times at the party.
Mm-hmm.
I lost you. Everybody was always concerned. Where's Patrick? Apparently, there was a moment, and Ellie's behind you. Can you hear me? Can she hear right now?
She can't.
She can't hear. There was a moment where everybody's like, "Where's Patrick?" And Dan, in the middle of the party, there was like an inflatable igloo. Okay, I didn't even notice it hardly because there's all the decorations. There was ladies on stilts, and in this igloo, I guess you could go. I was talking to some people that tried to make it the smoking pod that you could go in there and smoke a cigarette, but I don't know if they actually did that. But apparently, at some point, somebody told me, "Well, Patrick is in the igloo by himself."
I have evidence of this.
Listen, so I had that long walk, 5 or 6 blocks. I didn't realize blocks are much longer east to west than they are north to south.
That's right.
That was my mistake.
3.
It's not streets. The
3.
avenues are.
Yes.
So going east to west, avenue to avenue, it's 3 city blocks going north south.
Yeah. So I was like, I need to sit down. I did get, when I got there, I was, mingling a little bit, but then I was like, I just need to sit down for a second. I tried to sit down in this one area where there were like couches and stuff, and I was told, you cannot sit here. And I'm like,
Do you
Why?
know who I am?
I
I'm
don't know.
tinfoil hat.
I don't know why.
Was it VIP?
I guess.
Oh, wow.
But it wasn't roped off or anything. I just assumed people were just like, still mingling.
And there you are, by the way, in your Buffalo Jackson flannel and your Hey Dudes. And, you're over there in the VIP, and they flagged you immediately.
Yeah.
This guy's not VIP.
Sir, you were.
Sir, do you even work here? What's happening?
How the hell did you get in? So I went. I went to one of the bubbles. I sat there for a couple minutes, and then I got back up, and then I kept mingling. I was there way longer than I thought I'd be.
Did I leave before you?
Probably around the same time. When did you guys leave?
Like 9:45.
9:40. So yeah, I left a little bit before you.
Dang.
I said I was going for an hour and a half. I stayed, let's call it 3. Let's call it 3, Ellie. It was 3 hours. I had a good time. It's really fun to talk to people from every part of the company that you don't see a lot. Ad sales, by the way. There's some bros in ad sales, some dudes.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Why? I found that the
being
ratio of
sarcastic.
bros and dudes in ad sales was high. High.
Okay.
Yeah, I ran into Todd Pyro, 4th place regular season fantasy player in our
Talk
league.
about being open on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You're not in the fantasy playoffs.
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah, you got to
I
buy
have plenty
just
of
like
time
me.
to worship on Sunday.
Yeah, you play time. Yeah, Todd Pyro's great.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of energy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was surprised because he has to wake up at the butt crack of dawn.
I know. That's true. I bet his alarm goes off at.
Yeah.
I bet his alarm goes off at 2.
It's like
Could be
kill
even
me,
the
too.
1s.
Yeah.
Kill me too.
He told me like before that he usually takes a nap, comes home, takes a nap. So I'm like, I don't know when he had time to do that.
All right. So I did make my way to the dance floor at one point because there were some good songs going on, and I
Fascinating.
looked up. First of all, here's some awards. I'm gonna hand out some awards. Life of the party. Okay, life of the party. Fox and Friends weekend. Weatherman Adam Klotz.
Ooh.
Without a doubt. Adam is a ball. Adam, and he goes for it. He's having fun. Adam on the dance floor having a great time. You know who else is on the dance floor? You need to pull her off? Dana Perino. Dana.
Really?
Oh, Dana was front and center.
Starting it up?
Right up by the stage.
Dang.
Right up by the stage.
Good for her.
No, was she dancing in heels?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
She's a flats.
And then what I'm going to give you guys, you may know, Patrick or Ellie, because I hope you paid attention for the audience. What Fox News talent got on stage and showed real talent? He sang American Girl. He danced. I'm like, my gosh, that guy can dance. He can sing.
I think I know who it is. It's really annoying.
He's defying some athletic assumptions on his coordination. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that in a minute. So if you're listening, you don't know what I'm getting at. Anyway, who do you think it is? American Girl, dancing, playing, singing.
I know who now based on what you just said.
Go ahead.
Mr. Nate Foy.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Oh.
That's annoying that he can dance and sing.
Wow.
Stop being good at everything.
That's right. And
You're
why do
too
you think I
handsome.
said the athletic thing?
You're too
Because he's so tall.
Stop.
Well, he's
Guys
6'5".
That
really
guys
good
that
looking.
tall, you
Yeah.
don't presume can dance like that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of body to coordinate into rhythmic directions.
A lot of body. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he was a good athlete. That's not the same thing.
No, he already told you he wasn't a good athlete.
Oh, did he say that? He
Yeah.
wasn't a basketball player?
No.
He's a cardio guy. He does like running.
Now that I know he can dance like that, now I judge Nate harshly for not being an athlete because that coordinates. If you can dance, you have coordination, you can be an athlete. I believe that to be true. There's crossover. And am I wrong on that? Dancers can be good athletes. You just didn't channel it in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And so you're 6'5" and you can dance like that, Nate.
God,
You should have been a
he's
beast
so
on the
annoying.
basketball court or volleyball at the very least.
Lots of men volleyball,
Yeah. Yeah. Nate, very talented.
A lot of confidence apparently too.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
To get up on stage in front of everybody and do that. And he did like an instrumental part where there was no singing. And so he's like, I'm just going to dance. Like this extended riff of dancing.
Was it a liquid courage moment or
Don't know. I actually didn't hang with him a lot. I gave him a high five and said that was incredible. I said, are you single? Because you won't be by the end of this party. I mean, every one of us has been in our car. I said, that's what I said to him. I said, every one of us have been in our car and listened to a song like, what if I played this? What if I could do this? Dan's done it because Dan's musically does that stuff.
Yeah.
What if I did it at work? You know, and like everybody said, oh my God, Nate did that. He did that thing. And everybody's like, wow.
It's a daydream moment for everybody.
That's right. All right, that's it. I got to go do the Will Cain Show in a little bit here on Fox News. Thanks for hanging out with us. Tomorrow is a Cain on Sports edition. Get it at Spotify or Apple. We appreciate you algorithmically or following us for being with us here today. We will see you again next time.